Hello, my name is Michael Chant, and for my project I am creating a resource which will be an interactive online community where small business owners can build the knowledge and skills needed to implement sound HR policies and practices. This will be a website that covers labor law and compliance, recruiting, and employee training and development. The inspiration for this project came from a business owner in my town's Facebook group. She had made a post about how she monitored potential and current employees on social media and used that information for hiring and firing decisions. I know from working with attorneys for my company that this practice can open a company to claims of unfair employment practices. What concerned me the most was that she was asking for HR advice in a Facebook group. But where else could she turn? This was the inspiration for HR for SME. This community will be available for any small business owner. Some will have specific issues that they are currently facing, like the owner I just mentioned. Some may want to help others through their issues. Some owners may simply want to check in to keep current on legislation. Many small businesses don't have a full-time HR person. In fact, bizbrain.org recommends that businesses hire their first HR coordinator once they reach between 12 and 23 employees. These small business owners have been found to be very knowledgeable in their particular field or core competency, but they lack adequate knowledge related to labor law and HR management. Small businesses are facing challenges related to U.S. labor law, recruiting, and employee relations, training, and development. U.S. labor law in particular can have a negative impact on a business if the owner is intentionally or unintentionally not compliant. For example, in 2007, the U.S. Department of Labor recovered more than $212 million in back wages as a result of minimum wage and overtime violations for 2006. It's important to support our small businesses as our entire economy depends upon them. In 2009, there were 27.5 million small businesses in the U.S., making up 99% of all private businesses. They employ half of the nation's private workforce, and they pay 43% of the total federal taxes collected from private firms. It's clear that when small businesses succeed, we all succeed. Our owners are in it for the long haul. In a recent survey, 41% of small business owners reported having been in business for more than 10 years, and 61% have been in business for at least 6 years. They are, however, often driven by short-term pressures and fail to look at their businesses strategically. Above all else, they are adult learners. They are ready to learn things that they need to use at that particular time in their lives. They are also problem-centered in their orientation and learning. Adults want to learn knowledge, skills, and attitudes that will help them in real life. In recognizing this, HR for SME is built to help small business owners solve problems that they are currently facing. The discussion forums are meant to be flexible and learner-driven. Our goal is to provide the most current updates to U.S. employment law at the federal, state, and local levels, create a community where best HR management practices are shared, and help small business owners implement strategic HR practices. Our small business owners will learn appreciation for sound HR practices in small businesses, knowledge of U.S. federal, state, and local employment laws, knowledge of recruiting practices, knowledge of employee relations, training, and development practices, and best practices for assessing the effectiveness of HR practices. This site will be broken into 5 main buckets: the homepage, labor law and compliance, recruiting, training and development, and other resources. The homepage will serve as an introduction to HR for SME. It will include short videos of our experts explaining the importance of the 3 HR areas that we cover. Below that, we will have an HR news section. To the right of that, we will have testimonial videos. The labor law and compliance page will have on-demand training available. This training will be very flexible and can be started and stopped at any point. Below this, we have news articles focused on labor law compliance in small businesses. Lastly, we will have overview documents on key topics in labor law. We will get into more detail with labor law and compliance with our advanced topics page. This will contain our discussion forums. Our learners will be able to post questions or share an issue that they are currently working through. We will also have a page dedicated to state and local laws. This will include a feature for owners to select their state. The last page in our labor law and compliance bucket is our Ask an Expert page. Our recruiting and training and development buckets will take a similar approach as our labor law and compliance. Our last bucket, Other Resources, will contain links to resources outside of HR for SME, which may be a help to our learners. These resources will include the Small Business Administration and the Society for Human Resource Management. HR for SME is based on the best practices for establishing communities of practice, the principles of online collaborative learning, and of course, Malcolm Knowles' integrococcal model, otherwise referred to as adult learning theory.